Hey guys, it's good to be back with you today. I have just one quick thing that I want to talk about first before we get into today's video, which is I just wanted to say thank you guys to everybody who has subscribed. We hit 500,000 subscribers here on this channel, and that's just mind-blowing, mind-boggling to me that just to have your support, and I'm just really excited to bring so much new content here on this channel. So I had to say that real quick. I also just today want to discuss 7 different things that have completely transformed my style before I had even started investing back into my wardrobe. I had a lot of cheaply made things or things that were just from sample sales or just a hodgepodge of things that really didn't match. They weren't cohesive. I think that now I look at my closet and I think, okay, this shirt is a staple of my wardrobe. I need it to be in a color that I can wear all year long. So that's how I now look at my closet, is I've got those essential staple pieces of my wardrobe, and I incorporate a color scheme into every single piece that's a staple. So how I do this is I have 5 colors, just about 5 colors that I stick to for those staple pieces: black, white, gray, brown, and beige. So those might sound a little bit boring to you. You can choose your own colors, but that is the easiest way for me to just be like, these are the basics. I then like to have seasonal items where I might bring in 1, maybe 2 colors into my season's pieces. So that might mean in wintertime, I might try, like for Christmas and for this season, I tried like an emerald green for a coat. Loved that. And I know that I will be keeping that. And so every time that time of season rolls around, that color just works so well for that time of year. So hopefully that bit of advice will really help you as you're going shopping, or the next time that you absolutely need a piece, you go out there and you're like, yes, I need it in this color, in this cut, and it just removes all of that decision fatigue and overwhelm. And also there's ways that you can work with a very basic color palette, which is how to work with textures. If you have a monochrome outfit, all one color or something that's very similar in shades, the way that you can show that that outfit is intentional is by mixing up the textures. You can mix shiny pieces with matte pieces. You can do something that's like a fuzzy sweater with something that's not fuzzy at all, like maybe cotton canvas. Maybe you have something that's silk. You could combine that with a denim. And contradiction is how you make a brilliant either work of art or, any sort of like, in music, you have things that are maybe a melancholy and you add happy lyrics on it, and there's a contradiction there. So work with contradictions. It's perfect for any sort of element in design or anything that you want to create, including your outfit. My next tip, I hope not to offend anybody, because I know that somebody out there just bought the most amazing shirt and they love it, and it has this beautiful logo that they worked hard to save up for and buy. But my advice is to ditch the flashy logos. I think that sometimes that can so distract from your own beauty or from the beauty of the cut of the fabric or maybe just the design itself. One thing that sort of is a pet peeve of mine is if someone just tries to check the box that they got their name brand item, then that's it. Like that's all that they thought that they needed to do, and then somehow it puts them above another person who is wearing not the same brand. That sort of breaks my heart, because there's so much more to a design of an outfit that can show so much more attention to detail, maybe a certain design, a certain form of self-expression. And so that's why I say you might not necessarily want to just have a flashy logo, call it a day. I think that you can design around a flashy logo, but I do think that sometimes it's just overboard and you're not actually thinking about the way that your style is expressing yourself fully. Also, by no means am I giving up some of my pieces that I love very much that have logos on them, but the majority of the time I want to wear something that's more about the color and the fabric and the design of it altogether versus just having the flashy logos. When it comes to fashion, when people are talking about fashion, I usually hear them talk about it in 2 different realms. One is they're always focused on trends, or else there's another way to look at it, which is like timeless, classic, that type of thing. And that's definitely where I find myself more so leaning toward. My goal is that I want my photos from 2020 to be sort of timeless. You might have some things around in the environment that you're in the photo, or like the way that the photo looks, that could really tell you the time period, but I want my clothes to look classic. Like, I love Audrey Hepburn. I think that any sort of outfit that she's wearing, you might get a little vibe of which decade it was in, and I don't think that style is 100% timeless, but you certainly could still wear her pieces today. So that's where I find a lot of inspiration. I do find inspiration from different decades, but the majority of the time I just want my style to be unique to me and also timeless in the way that I could still wear that same outfit today. And that's a very healthy way to look at your wardrobe, to where you feel good about it and you don't feel like you have to throw it out. I think one of the most challenging parts to trying to kind of like go on my style journey and get better at it was that uncomfortable experience of buying more quality items because of the price point. It might be a little bit different than what you've done in the past, and it certainly was for me. But what I did realize is I just sort of made up my mind, like, I'm going to buy quality pieces that will last me for a long time, and even if I decide to sell it the next year, it is something that will maintain its value. But beyond just that, you fall in love with pieces that are high quality. You fall in love with the design, how it was made, how it was constructed, little tiny details that they went to the effort of creating in that item. And then also you take care of it more when you love it that much. So it becomes something that is a signature piece in your collection. That has been my experience with, going from the pieces that maybe were on sale or just, the best bargain I could find, that then would just fall apart and wouldn't really represent me well. Like, in the back of my mind, I might have felt like really proud of the sale I got, but I wouldn't feel super proud of the way that I looked in that item compared to that little bit of investment that I would put extra into a piece, and how much better it could make you feel. I mean, clothing has this superpower to it. It really does. And if you experiment with fabric quality, it isn't something that you will necessarily regret. Another struggle that I really had when I would shop for clothes, like especially in a store with poor lighting, weird mirrors, it was like a fun house, and I just felt awful after shopping, especially because the clothes I would put on, they were not made for somebody 5'1" with short legs. And I think that one thing that I had to do was not just shop from places that had petite sizes, but to actually go and bring my pieces to a tailor. Even if you're not petite, this could really be a helpful trick, because even though there's so many clothes out there in the world that you can get right now off the rack, it's like finding gold for it to fit absolutely perfectly. If it's a shirt, maybe the cuffs could just come down a little bit and it would look just so much better. Or maybe there's something that you have to do, like an easy hem of your jeans or your pants. Oh my goodness, it could just completely transform the whole look. That will make your outfit look exponentially more expensive, and generally speaking, if it's just hemming, you can get that done for maybe $5 or $10 from a good tailor. And so also just supporting a local tailor is so rewarding. I love working with my tailor now, and I started working with a tailor in Virginia, and it just started to transform my style. I was able to see a piece on the rack or, online, know the measurements, know how it could fit me, and I might just go a little bit like one size up if I needed to, so it fit me just perfectly at my widest point, and then just take the waist in a little bit. I get so many direct messages asking about that, especially if you have like any sort of curves. And women are just not designed the same way. We're all, very unique in the way that our bodies are. And that's what brought me to that memory I had of shopping in stores and just feeling like completely frustrated with shopping and completely frustrated in trying to find a piece I needed for work or school or whatever it was. So I want you guys to feel like super women, and I just think that going to a tailor and having somebody in your corner that can really help you with that with a very low price point is just going to incredibly increase the way that every piece works in your closet. So you guys have heard me out on 6 of the 7 tips, but real quick, I just wanted to say, like, there's so many times you might hear me say things like, these are the tips that I have if you're getting started and you want to know where to begin, or if you feel frustrated, like, here's some quick tips. That's where my heart is in all this. But at the end of the day, it's whatever is bringing you the most self-confidence and self-expression. So I just wanted to make the 7th tip to just dress for yourself and to be the most happy and confident person that you can be, and not necessarily meet the trends that are dictated on society. So maybe that one trend is just not really meant for you or how you express yourself, and that is okay. I think that for me and my style, I sometimes can be seen as like younger than I normally am, so I like to dress a little bit more mature with timeless pieces, with a neutral color scheme that could really elevate my style. So that's my direction. That might not be your direction. Maybe some of these tips today too could really be interpreted in your own light. So wanted to just put that on you as well, to embrace your own style and to find it, because it's there and you just have to uncover it. And those were my tips on how you can increase your style to feel completely confident, to really help you just walk out in the world and feel like you can do anything. And if you like this sort of video, you know, it's a little bit more chatty, but if you like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.